Alright, welcome to History Risk, where I try to give you a historical analysis of a given topic. In this case, the Berlin Blockade, why did it happen, while I'm trying to win a game of Risk against these 5 gentlemen and gentlewomen here. Diplomatic style. So the game is simple. High number beats low number. So 3 would beat 1, and it's all probabilities. And you're supposed to take bonuses, just like this guy is doing right now. He's trying to take British Empire. It's going to give him 3 troops. And the idea is that you want to hold as many bonuses as possible, as diplomatically as possible, and get friends, make friends, and hopefully win the game. And the ultimate goal is obviously the entire world. So I think it will be very interesting for you to watch me try and win. And I try to balance winning with giving you a very academic style historical analysis of the Berlin Blockade. And that will be a challenge, but I think it will be a fun challenge. Hopefully we win the game and I give you the complete lecture. But we'll see. I'm rallying up these guys. And okay, so the Berlin Blockade. Obviously the context behind it is rooted in the fact that the post-war division of power necessitated Germany being split, right? Because you had the Western powers approaching from the west, the Soviet Union approaching from the east, and the way that Germany was supposed to be divided lay in a wartime arrangement between the Allies. And it itself was very problematic because it envisioned, because the Allies were so far from the German capital, and the German capital, Berlin, was obviously very important, it envisioned that everybody gets a share in Berlin. So every single power, Allied power, would have a representation in the city of Berlin. And every single power would have also occupation zones in Germany proper. So, what happened? The Soviet Union, in exchange for agreeing to this division of power in Berlin, right inside its own occupation zone, was given a lot of territory beyond the Elbe and was quite far-reaching in its influence in East Germany. Okay, wait, let me just take my turn here. I have to set up myself somewhere. I'm not going to set up myself there because this guy will attack me. This guy obviously looks to take Russia. So I think I will just set myself up here. Very good dice. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take West Africa and I'm gonna chill. And nobody should attack me because they have no incentive to do so. They just lose territory. Okay, so let's keep going. So what was the exact division of power? You had East Germany for the Soviets. You had Southern Bavaria, this little angle here, for the Americans. You had Northwest Germany for the UK, including a little piece of Denmark here that's not really represented. Basically all of Hamburg and a bit of Jutland, I'd say. And then you have the west here that was occupied by France. And in Berlin, you had East Berlin being Russian, Soviet Union, excuse me. And then you had North Berlin. North Berlin was French. West Berlin was British, and southwestern Berlin was American. Okay. So let's track this as a timeline, kind of. How did things fall apart? So, at its core, the Allies could not really agree with the Soviets on how to approach Germany. And there was a Council of Foreign Ministers meeting in 1947, where they tried to resolve this, but no solution could be reached. And so, okay, I hold the bonus, very nice. Red seems to want that, so I will not touch that. Natural expansion opportunities, I don't know. In theory, it's Italy, but white kind of laid claim to Italy, so I will just add this and add this. I think West Africa is the most natural expansion path. Okay, so I'll go into North Africa, not West Africa. Oh, it is West Africa, okay. All right, so that meeting was a disaster. Nobody could really solve anything. And that was because Stalin did not want a West German state. Purple's position is very strong, by the way, but I'm very far from that, so that's good. Stalin did not want the West German state because that would be a revanchist and dangerous state for him. You know, he had already fought Hitler. There was a history of Russo-German hostilities. And that was not something desirable for Stalin. And he was also paranoid. You know, he had the cleansing of his own circle shortly before World War II. So he was clearly very under duress to let the Allies into his backdoor like this and create a West German state that's democratic. Obviously, he doesn't want that. And then another reason why there was not really... Oh, why are you putting troops there, my friend? Okay, he's leaving. He's leaving, right? Well done. Give him a heart. Another reason why they did not trust each other, because ultimately the Soviet Union was a communist state. And ideologically, democracies and the communist states, they don't really work well with each other, right? Because at the end of the day, the democracies are communist pigs. The Soviet Union is just a communist pig to the democracies, authoritarian, repressive. While the democracies to the Soviet Union are capitalist and oppressive in their own way, right? So that's also another reason why there was distrust. And ultimately, if Hitler was the ultimate goal that united them, he was gone now. And what remained was communist states that are just as bad to democracies as fascist states, because there's no free elections, there's no anything. Okay, so I feel like blue will fuck with me if I take North Africa, but I have to do this. Very good dice, so I will not complain about that. I don't have cards, very bad, but so cards give you extra troops. I don't have that, but it's fine. In theory, I should watch purple decimate the entire board while I sit here on the other side and laugh and give you my little history lecture. But okay. So distrust, ideological opposition, but also different policies. So after the failure of the Council of Foreign Ministers meeting, as I expected, he fucks them up. In February, so the meeting was in November 1947, and there was a... Following that, the Allies set up the London program in 1948, February. And that program was very important because it set up a different currency regime, and it explicitly agreed to establish between the Western powers a West German state. Right? And that was obviously very bad for Stalin, because now he could not toot his horn. And he still wanted to have a say in West German affairs. And so he responded, right? So they did not want the London program to be set up, the Soviets that is. And the currency reform that the Western Allies tried to establish was obviously pivotal in trying to help the population there and win popular support. And Stalin didn't want that. So what happened was there was protest notes. There was a withdrawal from the joint Allied decision-making body for Germany, and forbidden access to the zone of control held by the Soviets. Right? That was the Soviet response. And obviously the B mark, right? So they tried to establish also a B mark in Berlin. That was bad. And Stalin was really not happy because that was setting up basically a capitalist safe haven in Berlin, right in the heart of the eastern occupation zone of the Soviet Union. Okay, so here I think I go back to blue because I don't see a reason not to go back to blue. And I do not trust him. He could slam into me, but I am fine, I think. Okay, fuck you. Sorry. I just do not trust you very much. You will probably get help. Oh, he gave up. Perfect. Perfect. Give him a heart. Hopefully he does not attack me. He could attack me, which is valid. Yeah, purple has a very strong position. He is locked off, which is good. But okay, let's continue with the little history lecture. Analytical, academic as far as possible. So, we have Stalin not wanting to be exposed for not really taking care of the Berliners. He did not want a West German state. And so we have Stalin trying to do something about it. So what did he do? He tried the non-confrontational approach first. And he set up what you would call free elections, right? Because they were confident in Berlin, the Soviets. The communists there were strong, military and politically. They had unified. And Stalin was very confident that he would win the elections. Or the communists would win the elections. So they had the election, right? But instead of overwhelming communist victory, which was his expectation, as in other parts of Eastern Europe and the Soviet zone of control, in terms of satellite states, the only thing that happened was disappointment. Oh wait, this is such a good hold, by the way, if I can say Marseillais. But I will not push my luck. I will use the 6 as a guard. Okay, so red could fuck me up, but I will hopefully trust him. Yes. I will, but that gives him quite an incentive to attack me. I don't think anyone's pushing through that. 6 just to attack me. Alright, so I'm testing red. I'm just letting red go into white. But okay, so free elections didn't quite work out. So what Stalin is faced with is a currency reform program in Berlin, occupied zone of West Germans, a separate West German state, failed elections, completely failed elections. Oh no, what's happening? Hopefully it's not bugged. Yeah. Okay, we're fine. Failed elections for the communists, and so you had a situation where he decided, okay, I will be more forceful in my policies because obviously this is not working. And the Allies were not that hell-bent on holding Berlin. Like, Berlin was not very... Like, the political significance of it was recognized by both Churchill and What else was it? Sorry, I need to check because I don't remember. That's not a good look. But yeah, it was let's just say Churchill and the Americans as well. I think that's a fair assessment. It was very, very important for the Westerners in that sense, right? Yeah, Roosevelt, of course. That was the guy I was looking for. Roosevelt and Churchill. They were both very, very... Okay, give them a heart. It was very important for them in terms of political significance, but not really in terms of any other practical reason, right? So they did not really focus on that as much as the Soviet Union. But yeah, after the failed elections, the Soviets, they went a bit harder. And what they did was that they... let me set up my position here. So mutually assured destruction. I like that. I'm in a very good position. I will not be greedy. This stack is technically locked, but I don't need it to be open right now. I know that someone else is gonna die first, right? I know that red does not want to fuck with me. I'm gonna take Italy. I don't like that. I'm gonna try and team with white on purple. Oh no, he's killing blue. Okay. I thought he was gonna take Italy. This might devolve into a stalemate, but don't worry. I have a lot of material to cover still. And I think it will be very interesting for you still. He might attack me here, but we'll see. He gets steamed on if he attacks me. I can tell you that much, hopefully. Okay. And so it was big losses for Mr. Stalin. But he was feeling confident, and he set up like a little indirect political control system with kind of sham elections. And ultimately, this confidence led to the severance of all rail and road connection to Berlin. Right? So the Allies could now no longer reach their occupation zones. And since Russia had insisted that the system is such that every single power is responsible Okay, so this guy wants to work with me. Sorry for the silence. Okay, give him a heart, but he needs to attack first. He wants to trade here. Yeah, good, sure. He's strongest. He's the strongest one. Red is obviously the big loser in this whole scenario. And if he attacks me, he's gonna lose. He knows that, so he won't attack me. At least I don't think so. He's gonna take the bonus though. And so we have the culmination, right? The severance of the rail and road connect. Okay, then it doesn't take the bonus for some reason. And that's, I mean, okay, white has no incentive to attack purple now that I think about it. Oh, he's actually attacking purple. Okay. The problem is red is gonna win from that. Oh, I did promise him that I would attack him. Yeah, I mean, I promised. I think I would keep my promise. Yeah. But he could still... No, he cannot actually run into me. But then I want to put something else somewhere else. And he could slam me. I don't want him to slam me, that's the thing. Let's put it here. Trust white. Yeah? Yeah? No hearts. He does not want to give me a heart, but okay. I feel comfortable or confident. He's gonna break white. He has all the incentives to break white and not really break me. He could still break me in Benghazi, but it seems like he chose not to. Oh, I thought I retreated this. Anyway, yeah, I'm just thinking, because it's a crucial moment right now. So we have the bad situation now happening. Stalin wants to show his muscle, right? He feels like the Allies are not letting him have a say in the West German affairs. And he is seeking a political victory. Like, he's not trying to spark the Cold War. At least that's what academics say. He's not trying to spark the Cold War, but he is trying to show strength. And okay. So what happens, right? It's very important that we look at the responses to this. Hey, he's still going hard. Wow. I can't really help you here. Yeah, I still do not trust red. How am I supposed to attack Mr. Purple? I could just send this territory. I mean, I will just take a chunk. Threaten. And okay, white might feel like I'm betraying him. Which is not the case, I just don't know how to help him. But white should blockade purple. I don't know why he's not doing that. Okay, why, purple bows down. Let's see what red does. Red better not attack me. Skip. Skip or eat the dick. Okay, alright, focus. So, what happened? So we have the Berlin Blockade. It happens, right? They do not agree with each other. But white is my homie. Attack red, I'll help you. I'll help you. Yeah, there you go. Slap that, slap that. Yes. Yes, good. Good. Keep hitting. I will go through him now with my 50 stack. You may stop now. No, stop. Oh my god, he's suiciding into him. Okay. Wow, okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, he's giving up as well. Alright, now I guess I'm in a 1v1 against purple. Can I get those cards is the question. Okay, So this is very pivotal, so I obviously cannot talk about the Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall right now. Okay, I'll try to protect you. I will try to protect you. Okay. I don't think purple can do much in this situation. I want to give you a second though, Mr. White. I will try to give you a second. This should run into me, which is fine. He will be running out of steam quite a bit. Okay, he's going the wrong way, I'd say. Oh, he's going the correct way. He's not playing for second. I respect that. But he's very slow. Very slow, man. Attack purple. I want to give you a second, my friend. I will give you a second, I promise. Oh, he does not break me completely. That's so interesting. I will... So white should definitely work with me, because he knows I will completely decimate him. Nice, well played. Just don't open his stack. Do not open his stack. Do not be a liability for me. I think I'm not even gonna attack that. I'm just gonna sit. Alright, so very good position. Purple stack is locked, he cannot touch me. The best he can do is take some territories, which I will not let him hold. He's not breaking white, which is a mistake as well. I feel like white might... do I want to guarantee my victory? I don't know. I don't think I trust white enough. It's time to attack purple. Attack purple. Yeah, there you go. Alright. So, history lesson. You have the United States reaction. Okay, all of his troops are going into purple, that's good. You have the United States reaction. And Britain's reaction, obviously. I shouldn't have given him troops, but whatever. I'm incentivizing purple to kill white, basically. And I kind of did that on accident. But the US did not expect the blockade at all. Like, the State Department, the army, nobody was really prepared for that. But you have Lucius de Clay, who was the governor, the military governor, responsible for the American occupation zone, as I told you here. He makes the split decision to impose the airlift, and he coordinates it. And he doesn't ask Washington, he doesn't ask the president, he doesn't ask anyone. He just does it. And that has important consequences because it shapes like the non-confrontational path that the US will now take. Okay. That everybody will take, because it's a very volatile situation. Like, okay, they don't want to provoke. Oh no, don't open the stack. Oh, bad boy. Okay, acceptable. So they don't want to provoke the Soviet Union. Don't do it. Don't open it. Stop. No. He opens the stack. Okay, I see what you're doing, but I don't trust that. I know what you're doing, and I don't like what you're doing because I'm not a new player. Okay, I will go in there. Now this is my little pocket, and I cannot lose. Oh, he gave up. All right. Oh. I'm nice. I won't kill him yet, and I still want to finish up. Okay, so this sets up the non-violent, non-confrontational way, right? At the airlift, and what happens is that Truman, who was the president at the time, he agrees with that, right? So he's like, okay, that was a good move. We don't want to fuck with them, with the Soviets, but we don't want to give them anything either. So we will leave this as it is, and we are going to coordinate efforts with Britain. That's what they do, right? He says we're going to stay, period, right? After he thinks about it. Well, after he thinks about it, quote unquote, he just, that's the decision they make. And he recalls it in one of his memoirs, that they were going to stay, period. So you have Britain, Ernest Bevin, who was also involved in that, in the decision making, and he fears like a second Munich conference, right? That's really bad for him, because he feels like he would be surrendering to Stalin the same way that they surrendered to Hitler, with appeasement. So he also participates in that, right? So they go full send, and both America and Britain are into that. I just wanted to finish up. It was a very good game. And together with Ernest Bevin, they set up a very, very large-scale implementation of the airlift, the Americans and the British. And there was a huge psychological value, because now you have a shit ton of airlifted supplies, which Bevin insists on, that was previously thought not like possible. It was not thought possible. And Bevin also moves American, or not American, but he supports the American B-29 atomic bomb carriers to be made, to be put into Britain, and putting them in striking distance within Moscow, which obviously scares away the Russians even more. And so we have, in the end, this dissuasion, which ultimately proved very important. And we also have the Soviet Union increasingly being framed as the bad guy, right? They're trying to starve 2 million people with the blockade for some kind of political goal that nobody knows about. And so that's what happens, right? Politically, it's a very bad, and Stalin ultimately decides to pull out. And the airlift was very much sustained, and it was only on the 12th of May that the Berlin airlift was lifted, and I'd say it was pretty successful, you know, in 1949. Yeah, just wanted to make sure I don't give false information. So, consequences. I know the game is over, but I'd like to give you more information. So first of all, the West was strengthened, and the West was unified, because they had shown that they could stand up to the Soviet Union, just like they did stand up to Hitler eventually, obviously not immediately. And so NATO was kind of promoted through all this. West Germany was solidified as a plan. And the European Recovery Program, which was part of the London program, was established. The B-29 bombers, which I mentioned in passing because the video was ending, but they were now set up even more threateningly towards the Soviets. And there was kind of an atomic perimeter, which is very interesting, that was set up close to the borders of the Soviet Union as a consequence to this. And of course, the Soviets appeared very ruthless and malevolent. And the West was pretty much convinced that they had to be very forceful in their approach to the Soviets. And yeah, that's the history lesson. That's the game. We won. I gave the good history overview, I hope. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.